Yeah, Joyce, King County Executive Dow Constantine would not come out today to answer questions about the Kent incident, instead sending out a top deputy who acknowledged that there are staffing issues at that Kent site and that the county will have to make some changes. In a bid to install a coronavirus compound, King County was only able to get 2 security staffers in place. An admission tonight from King County's Director of Community and Human Services, Leo Floor.
Based on what happened and based on the complaints from Kent, do you need to change that?
We are absolutely seeing this system in real time in an unprecedented situation, and we're going to keep making adjustments to make sure that we are doing this in the way that's going to provide the best care for people and the best care for communities. So we are absolutely now adjusting the way that we staff these facilities.
But Floor says the Kent Motel only had 2 voluntary patients when one of them ran across the street, stole an item, and jumped on a bus.
Is there any sort of tracing going on right now between the motel and the convenience store where this video was taken?
The epidemiological research is a public health function. I don't know right now whether they are doing this exact tracing, but I know that they are busy tracing a lot of different cases right now to understand how it's spreading through the community.
It is both what Kent City leaders feared and an example of the scramble to streamline a system in an emergency situation. Floor says fencing will be an eventual part of the changes. King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn took it a step further today, saying law enforcement should be present at the Kent Motel. Floor didn't rule out bringing in help from outside the region.
Where does that staff come from, or is that a National Guard?
We are looking at multiple options right now. Certainly within the department, we have begun to reassign folks from other duties into COVID response roles that are not what they were hired for.
King County also announced today that anyone needing social services and showing signs of the coronavirus would not be allowed to stay at that Kent Motel in the future. Floor also said that he could not confirm that the homeless man who jumped on that bus tested positive yet for the coronavirus. If that changes, we'll let you know. For now, live in downtown Seattle, I'm Chris Daniels, King 5 News.